Every morning, millions of people make exactly the same decision. They walk past the coffee sitting in their own kitchens and willingly spend 3, 5, sometimes even $10 on a cup of coffee they could have made themselves. At first glance, it doesn't make much sense. Why would anyone pay that much for something so simple? But here's the interesting part. They're not buying coffee. They're buying convenience, routine, comfort, a place to think, a place to work, a place to meet friends. And that's exactly why coffee has become one of the biggest businesses in the world. Today, we're breaking down the economics of owning a coffee shop. How much money can it really make? What does it cost to run? Why do so many cafes fail, while others become billion-dollar brands? Let's find out.
The biggest myth? Most people think coffee shops sell coffee. They don't. At least, not really. If coffee were the only thing customers cared about, everyone would simply drink instant coffee at home. It's cheaper, faster, and far more convenient. Yet every morning, coffee shops are packed. Why? Because the product isn't coffee. The product is the experience. The smell of fresh beans, the sound of steaming milk, comfortable seating, friendly staff, background music, free Wi-Fi, the familiar faces. Coffee simply gives people a reason to enter. Everything else keeps them coming back. And that's the first lesson every successful coffee shop owner understands. You're not selling coffee. You're building a daily habit.
The habit economy. Here's something fascinating. Imagine 2 customers. The first buys 1 coffee today, then never returns. The second buys 1 coffee every weekday for the next 5 years. Both bought exactly the same product, but one customer could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars over time. That's why repeat customers are the lifeblood of every successful cafe. In business, acquiring a new customer is usually much more expensive than keeping an existing one. That's why good coffee shops remember names, remember orders, reward loyal customers, offer loyalty cards, create welcoming spaces. They're not trying to make one sale. They're trying to become part of someone's daily routine. And once they achieve that, the business becomes much more predictable.
Why coffee is such a good product. Coffee has one major advantage over many other businesses. People consume it repeatedly. Very few people buy a lawnmower every week or a television every month, but millions buy coffee every day. That creates recurring demand, and recurring demand is one of the most valuable things a business can have. Even better, coffee itself is relatively inexpensive compared to its selling price. The raw ingredients for a cup might cost only a fraction of the final price. But remember, customers aren't paying only for the ingredients. They're paying for everything surrounding the experience: the location, the atmosphere, the service, the convenience. That's why 2 cafes can sell almost identical coffee, yet one charges twice as much, and customers happily pay.
Where the money really comes from. This surprises many people. The coffee itself isn't always where the biggest profits are made. Successful cafes build multiple income streams: coffee, tea, cold drinks, breakfast, lunch, pastries, desserts, coffee beans, merchandise, gift cards. Some cafes even rent out their space for events after hours. Others sell online. Others roast their own beans. The goal isn't simply selling more coffee. It's increasing how much each customer spends every visit. Imagine one customer buys only a cappuccino. Now, imagine another customer orders a cappuccino, a croissant, and a slice of cheesecake. The cafe served one customer, but earned 3 times the revenue. That's called increasing the average transaction value. It's one of the simplest ways to grow a business without attracting more customers.
The costs nobody notices. When people imagine owning a coffee shop, they picture the fun parts. The smell of freshly roasted coffee, friendly conversations with regular customers, beautiful latte art, a busy cafe full of happy people. But behind every successful coffee shop is a long list of expenses that customers never see. Rent, electricity, water, insurance, staff wages, coffee beans, milk, sugar, pastries, cleaning supplies, card payment fees, equipment maintenance, marketing, and perhaps the most expensive cost of all, time. Most cafes open long before sunrise. Baristas are often preparing the first drinks while many of their customers are still asleep. Then the rush begins. For a few hours, every second matters. A delay of just 30 seconds per customer can create long queues. Long queues can frustrate customers, and frustrated customers might choose another cafe tomorrow. That's why successful coffee shops don't just focus on making good coffee, they focus on making it quickly, consistently, and with excellent service.
The one number every owner watches. If you've ever dreamed of opening a coffee shop, there's one number you should understand. Not revenue, not profit, customer count. The average amount each customer spends. Imagine 2 cafes. Both serve 200 customers every day. The first customer's average purchase is $4. The second cafe increases that average to $6 by offering pastries, sandwiches, or premium drinks. The number of customers hasn't changed. The coffee hasn't changed. But revenue has increased dramatically. That's why you'll often see tempting displays near the counter. Fresh muffins, cookies, croissants, brownies. They're not there by accident. They're carefully placed to encourage one more purchase. In business, increasing the average sale is often easier than finding hundreds of new customers. It's one of the oldest and most effective business strategies in the world.
Why some coffee shops fail? Here's a surprising fact. Making excellent coffee is no guarantee of running a successful coffee shop. Every year, cafes open with great excitement. And every year, many quietly close their doors. The reason usually isn't the coffee. It's the business. Some choose the wrong location. Others underestimate operating costs. Some create menus that are too large, leading to waste and slower service. Others fail to build a loyal customer base. A coffee shop with wonderful coffee but no regular customers is in a difficult position. A coffee shop with good coffee and hundreds of loyal regulars has a much stronger foundation. That's why experienced owners spend just as much time studying numbers as they do perfecting recipes. They're running a business first, a coffee shop second. The secret behind billion-dollar coffee brands. Now, let's zoom out. Think about the world's biggest coffee companies. What made them successful? Was it simply better coffee? Probably not. In many cities, small independent cafes serve coffee that's every bit as good, or sometimes even better. So what's the difference? Systems. The largest coffee brands don't rely on one talented barista. They rely on repeatable processes. Every recipe is documented. Every employee is trained. Every store aims to deliver a familiar experience. When customers walk into one location, they know almost exactly what to expect. That consistency builds trust, and trust builds loyalty. It's one of the reasons a strong brand can sometimes outperform a better product.
Should you start a coffee shop? A good business idea? The answer depends on why you're doing it. If you think it's an easy way to make money, you may be disappointed. The hours are long, competition is fierce, margins can be tight if costs aren't managed carefully. But if you genuinely enjoy hospitality, understand customer service, pay close attention to your finances, and build a place people want to return to, a coffee shop can become much more than a business. It can become part of a community. Many successful cafes become gathering places where people celebrate birthdays, hold meetings, work remotely, and catch up with friends. That kind of loyalty is difficult to build, but incredibly valuable once you earn it.
Most people think coffee shops succeed because they serve coffee. But that's only a small part of the story. The real product is consistency, routine, comfort, community. People return because they know what they'll get. The same smile, the same atmosphere, the same cup of coffee that starts their morning. That's why the most successful coffee shops aren't simply selling drinks. They're becoming part of someone's daily life. And that's a business model far more powerful than coffee alone. The next time you walk into a coffee shop, take a moment to look beyond the menu. Notice the regular customers who don't even need to place their order. Watch how quickly the staff work together during the morning rush. Look at the pastries by the register, the loyalty cards, the carefully chosen music. None of it is accidental. Every detail has been designed to encourage one simple thing: a customer coming back tomorrow. If you enjoyed this episode of Tiny Business Success, subscribe for more deep dives into the economics of everyday businesses. Next time, we'll answer another question. So you want to start a car wash. Is it actually a good business? Until then, thanks for watching.